how the extensive imaging capabilities within ArcGIS 10.1 can be used to measure the growth of Dubai. But we know Dubai has also grown with a lot of tall buildings. And to show you how we can measure the vertical growth, let me introduce you to Vinay Vishwambram from the software development group.
Thanks, Peter. So you just saw analysis and classification done at a city scale. I wanted to show you characterization of change at a finer level of detail. To do this, I need high-resolution imagery. So here's a worldview scene over the area of Dubai. I received this as raw, unprocessed TIFF files on disk. Now, one of the biggest improvements we've made in ArcGIS 10.1, the system leverages the metadata that's provided, and it can define products automatically. So as I drag my pan-sharpened product into map, the system pan-sharpens, orthorectifies, and creates a visually good-looking product on the fly. The best is yet to come. So this is the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. It's an amazing structure, and that's some beautiful imagery to complement it. But that's obviously not the most intuitive view of the tallest building in the world. Using the sensor model information, we can now rotate my view and get a better perspective. Leveraging the sensor model information and using the meta information, we've improved the analytical capabilities of ArcGIS even more. You can now make measurements off of your imagery. You can base it off the sensor geometry, from the bottom of the structure to the top of the structure, or you can make shadow-based measurements from the tip of the shadow, tip of the spire, to the tip of the shadow. When characterizing change, you typically work with historical imagery. A common problem faced when working with historical imagery, your imagery doesn't line up. Let's navigate over to another place in Dubai. So here I have an older image. As you can see, the change is not quite obvious, but our problem with the image misalignment is a lot more obvious. These roads, they don't quite line up. ArcGIS 10.1 can fix this. We have this magic button. No, seriously, you like this. I'll bring up the georeferencing toolbar. I'll hit it, and I'll tell you what it does. You've got to like this. The system is computing tie points between the two images. It's adjusting the images to fit automatically. Now, this is great for the historical imagery that I'm dealing with. And like I told you, it's a very simple workflow. Press a button, pick your images, no tie points, no control points, no checkpoints. There's no complexities the user needs to deal with. Just like that, it fits. You can now compare the two images, automatic georeferencing. We can now navigate back over to the Burj, compare the two images, lines up perfectly, but 5 years, that is a lot of change. But if you notice, much of the change is tall buildings, a lot of vertical growth. Vertical growth equates to massive change in floor area. Now, to compute change in floor area, or to quantify change, you need to measure building heights. So as I zoom out to the extent of Dubai, you can see that's a lot of data collection that I have to do, and a larger collection of images to deal with. So here's where the mosaic data set comes in. Now, that's a lot of imagery. It's processed on the fly, and it's fast. As I zoom out to the extent of the Middle East, 2,500 scenes, GOI scenes, 2.5 terabytes of imagery. It's processed on the fly. I've shown you all of this functionality. I've shown it to you in desktop. But ArcGIS, it's a system, which means we can wrap all of this functionality into a rich, focused web application, and I can crowdsource my data collection task to a larger group of people. So here's my web application. I've hosted it on my organizational account on ArcGIS Online. As I bring it up, the application lets me measure building heights and other attributes. And just like in desktop, from the tip of the building to the tip of the shadow, I can attribute my building. Image services, like all of ArcGIS, is time aware, which means I can actually step through these images in time. And you can see this structure was first observed in 2009. On the right-hand tab, I have my reports populated. I have other statistics as well. So to answer John's question, how much has Dubai changed over the years? The city has changed a lot. With 96% of buildings captured by my organization, the approximate increase in the total floor area, 190 square kilometers. But John, why just numbers? Using these measurements, I can actually show you what it looks like. So here's the beautiful city of Dubai at night. Thanks, John.